Welcome back to my channel. This is Ask Dr. Ada, and as you know, I am Dr. Ada. It's been a long time since I had a video on this channel. Those of you who follow me on Instagram know I had a baby girl, so I was home on maternity leave for about 12 weeks. I went back to work a few weeks ago, and now I feel like I'm at a good place to restart our videos. So how are you guys doing? How has everyone been handling staying home, the pandemic, COVID, all of that? My sincere condolences to those who have lost someone from COVID or someone who's been working this whole time. It's been really tough for everyone, like around the entire world. So I think everyone should just try their best to keep their heads up, give themselves some grace, and hopefully this too shall pass very soon. So on this episode, I thought it would be good for you all to know what's been happening with me, kind of like a life update, as well as introducing you to my baby and kind of telling you a little bit more about my birth story. So I had my daughter at about 41 weeks. Some of you, those of you who had babies know that that's a long time to wait to having a baby. But basically what happened was the exact same thing that happened with Kemi happened with Coin, in the sense that I kept going, my pregnancy kept going, and I reached my due date, but there was no, I reached my due date, but nothing was changing in terms of me going into labor. Up to the point where I was 40 weeks, I had started going to the doctor every week, and I wasn't dilating. So my cervix wasn't changing, I was not going into labor, even though I had been walking, drinking all sorts of labor-inducing teas, which I probably shouldn't have, but just trying to get the baby to come naturally. Nothing happened. At about the end of my 40 weeks, the doctor suggested I get an ultrasound, and when we got the ultrasound, we found out that the baby was over 8 pounds. And then I started thinking to myself, if this baby is over 8 pounds and I'm not dilating, I'm not going into labor, do I really want to have a natural birth? Why don't I just have another C-section like the last time with Kemi, instead of going through all the stress and struggles that I went through with Kemi? So for those of you that don't know, my first daughter Kemi was born at 41 weeks. She was 9 pounds 7 ounces, so huge. No one knew. I went in to be induced because I never went into labor, and after almost 30 hours of the induction, we ended up having a C-section, and then she came out and we found out that she was that big. So for me, for my second daughter, I had to make the decision that we had gotten to 41 weeks and the baby wasn't coming. I didn't want to go through an induction of all that hours only to end up having a C-section again. So I decided to have a scheduled C-section at exactly 41 weeks. And I think for me personally and for my family, that was the best decision we could have had. So having the C-section at 41 weeks, they gave us a date and a time to arrive. Kemi ended up staying with some of our very good friends. We knew she was in good hands. She had a ball. She felt like she was on a vacation. We went to the hospital at 6 a.m. in the morning. The C-section was scheduled at 9. Everything literally just happened very smoothly. There wasn't any panic. There wasn't any stress. We went into the hospital at 6 a.m. By 9 o'clock, I was in the OR, and the baby was out by 9:30. So everything went really well. The only thing that happened right after she was born was she had some fluid in her lungs, so she had to have what we call BiPAP in her nose, just to kind of help push that fluid out of her lungs. And so she was in the NICU for about 24 hours. So that happened, but all in all, she was fine. Now, how big was she when she came out? When she came out, she was 8 pounds 15 ounces, so huge. And so looking back, I just was grateful that I didn't go through the vaginal delivery, or at least I didn't go through the plan of being induced, because I feel like it would have ended up in the same scenario as Kemi. Since I had a C-section, I had a spinal pain medication, so for the first 24 hours I was great. I didn't have any issues. But then soon after, when the pain medication started wearing off, the pain was serious. Like, it literally felt like, yes, there's a fresh cut on your stomach. Like, it was really, really, really painful. They gave me oxycodone, and they gave me, I think it was Tylenol, and I had the two of them rotating on a very like, I had the two of them rotating on a schedule, and if I missed any one, my pain was just like astronomical, like starting from day 2. And then I just felt like, wow, thank God at least I had my husband with me in the hospital, because literally I couldn't walk. To go to the bathroom was like 5 steps. I needed 2 people to get out of the bed. It was, I feel like for this second C-section, the pain was 10 times worse than the first with Kenny. Maybe because I've had the experience, but I don't know, it was really, really bad. So ultimately, when the baby came to us on about day 2 to where I was staying, to the room I was staying, she came to stay in a crib in the room I was staying. Ideally, I could have been sent home on day 3 or day 4, but I couldn't. I ended up staying from Monday to the whole week to Friday, specifically because my pain wasn't under control. I feel like that was the biggest stressor while I was in the hospital. My pain wasn't controlled. I felt like every day I was telling them, this pain is too much, this pain is too much. Peeing, walking, sitting, coughing. No one was allowed to make any jokes. Like, it was so painful just to do anything because of how much pain I was in. And for some reason, obviously the C-section is done on your lower abdomen. For some reason, one side of the cut hurt the most, and it was on the right side. So when the OBGYN and the residents came to do their rounds, I was like, why is this right side so bad? Like, I had the C-section, the cut is left to right, like, why is this side so bad? And the attending OBGYN was like, typically there's one side that hurts the most. And I don't know if like she was telling a joke for real or she was being serious, but she said, usually the side that hurts the most is the side where the residents were working, because the residents are a little bit more aggressive with their stretching and everything. And I vividly remember during the operation, the resident was on the right. So I looked at the resident like, what the hell, like, this stuff hurts so bad. But luckily, the pain didn't last forever, obviously. I would say it lasted it started getting much better by week 3, and then by week 4, like, I was good. So one advice I would give anyone who has a C-section or anyone who has their second C-section is to take your meds as scheduled. So what they do is they try to give you the meds in such a way where every 4 hours you have something covering you. And so when I think when I went home with oxycodone, but they didn't give me a lot because obviously, they don't want you to have any form of tolerance to it or addiction or whatever. But they gave me about 20 pills, and they gave me like a ton of Tylenol and some Motrin. So I just kept to the schedule they gave me. Anytime I had pain, when I would look back, I realized I had forgotten my medicine for like an hour or 2. So if you have a section, they give you your pain medicines, just take it as scheduled. Like, even if you're not feeling any pain, still take it because it's preventing the pain that's coming the next hour or 2. So another thing, as you can imagine, because of the COVID, we didn't have any help. So my mom couldn't come. We couldn't have friends or family come to see us in the hospital. My husband couldn't leave the hospital when he was there. And then when we came home, as soon as we left the hospital, we went straight to pick Kemi up from our friends. We came home and it became the journey of the 4 of us. So my husband was everything and is still everything for us. When I am feeding, when I was either direct breastfeeding or pumping, he was with the baby. And we just kind of like tag teamed and trying to figure this new normal out. Initially it was really, really tough, but I feel like as we kind of understood our baby and understood her schedule, things got a lot better. Eventually, as the maternity leave started winding down, I've made the decision that we needed a nanny. And so the 2 of us decided that we need to look for a nanny. And my maternity leave was 12 weeks. As you know, like, that's about what maternity leave is in the US, in other countries, it's much different, and I'm hoping every day, one day, things will be a lot different here, where people can get longer time for maternity leave to be with their kids, to be with the baby and like, you know, nourish the baby the right way and just bond with the baby versus going straight back to work. But you know, that's what things are here. So I had to go back to work at 12 weeks, and so we found a nanny through word of mouth, and she's been a godsend. She came in when the baby was about 10 weeks just to learn our family dynamics and to learn more about the baby. She was coming a few hours a day, but when I went back to work, then she comes like 9 to 5 each day. I didn't particularly want anyone that would live in our house, just for the comforts of, you know, someone we don't know being in our house 24/7 is a little bit too much. So she goes and comes, she wears a mask the whole time she's here, and so far so good. Everything has been really nice with her. We're very grateful for having her. So I'm very happy about that. Kemi hasn't gone back to daycare yet because of the COVID. We're still watching things out. So the nanny takes care of the 2 girls at home. We have cameras all over the house because I don't play that. And things have been well. Like I watch them from work and see how they're doing or what they're doing, and things have been fine. So I'm really grateful. Okay, so right now, since I'm trying to get back to my new normal of being back to work, being a mom of 2 girls, I also want to get back to this channel and this platform that I'm still building, and I'm really excited, really excited by some of the passion projects that I'm putting together for my brand and for this channel in the next few months. Hopefully I'm going to launch something that will be very useful to you before the end of the year, and I'm excited for you to see that. So yeah, so please stay tuned to my channel. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you need to. That's where I post. I posted throughout my maternity leave on my Instagram page, and it's going to be linked below, so you can always follow me there. But before I go, I just want to introduce you to our newest member of the family. So if you want to see her, hang on, let me go get her so you can meet her. So this is Coin Sola. She is 3 months old. Her older sister is Kemi Sola, as you know, so she goes by Coin. She's really chill. She's a lot chiller than Kemi. She smiles a lot, but not right now. She's like, what's going on? But yeah, no, she's been wonderful. She has been very peaceful, especially during the day. At night, she can scream and cry for I don't even know, but we're making it work, her dad and I. But she's doing really good. She's very healthy. She likes to eat. When she takes her naps, you have to have her milk ready, waiting for her. Otherwise, when she wakes up, it's like a whole situation. But she's really good. She was born with a head full of hair, unlike Kemi. So we're wondering where that came from. I think it may be from my dad's side. But no, she's awesome. She's happy, she's peaceful. And Kemi and her are obsessed with each other, which is really wonderful to watch. Kemi's always trying to give her kisses on her cheeks, and Kemi's trying to kiss her. And anytime Kemi comes around, Coin's always looking at her like smiling and very excited. So we're happy to have her as an addition. I always say she looks more like me, so because Kemi looks a lot like her dad. So this is my little girl. And so yeah, so I'm a girl mom, and I'm excited to see what this journey is gonna where this journey is gonna take me in terms of talking about being a mom of 2 girls and being a pediatrician and all the things that we'll come up to as a family of 4. So stay tuned for everything coming up this year. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by some of the videos we have lined up and some of the passion projects I'm gonna start off this year. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next episode. Have a good one. Bye. Coin, say bye. No, not right now. This hand maybe.